Education Minister Hekia Parata has denied she's leaving the Beehive before seeing through some major reforms in her portfolio. In a surprise move today, Ms Parata announced she would not stand in next year's election, saying she told Prime Minister John Key of her decision early this year. Hekia Parata was elected to Parliament in 2008 and has served as Education Minister since 2011. She was asked by reporters if her departure would leave unfinished work in the education sector.
I think 5 years doesn't constitute an upping and leaving. Over these past 5 years, I have been pursuing a significant set of reforms at the system level, and a number of them have been landed. We now do have the Education Council of Aotearoa New Zealand in place. We now do have professional learning and development transformed. We have built a data and evidence framework that tells us in real time how well kids are doing. We've implemented investing in educational success. Over half of all schools are now in communities of learning. We've incorporated digital technologies into the core curriculum. There are a range of what I've been working on that are already underway, and there are a couple of things outstanding, notably the funding review and legislation, but they are on their timeline as well.
Hekia Parata didn't have much to say about her plans for life after Parliament, other than to rule out seeking a diplomatic post. She's butted heads with unions and parents from time to time during her time as Minister. Increasing class sizes, very unpopular. Recently, unions banded together to oppose her global funding proposal, which they've dubbed bulk funding light. Interestingly, she seemed to indicate on Checkpoint, when she joined us 3 or 4 weeks ago now, that that wasn't going to fly. However, Ms Parata describes her relations with teachers' unions as respectful and says it's improved during her time as Minister. She's one of only 6 women in Cabinet currently. She's a fluent Māori speaker, the only one in Cabinet, but she says she isn't worried that her departure will see a strong Māori voice lost from the top table.
No, I haven't been concerned about that, because our government as a whole, and our cabinet in particular, has shown by their action how committed they are to working with all sectors of New Zealand society, but with Māori. So we've had more treaty settlements occur under this government. We've had more discussions around the social investment space in terms of Māori. We've invested in the whānau ora area, which is, a completely new model. We've worked well, I think, with the Māori Party. So no, I think our government as a whole, rather than me in particular, has shown how serious we are about ensuring that all New Zealanders are participating successfully in our country.
Hekia Parata. For his part, the Prime Minister says despite a few bumpy years, Ms Parata has been a minister always willing to push the boundaries to improve the education system. John Key says he still has to consider whether she'll stay on as a minister for all of next year.
Well, in the first instance, I'll just need to think about ultimately, what we do going forward. If we have a reshuffle and if Hekia remains in that role post the reshuffle. The second thing would then be obviously what happens on the basis that we are the government after 2017. So there's 2 real different things to consider.
John Key says a small number of other ministers have indicated they are considering their future as election year approaches.